Barbour jackets have a reputation of lasting a lifetime. However, they also have a reputation of being very expensive. So today I'm going to try and answer the question for you, how well do they actually age? I have here 5 Barbour jackets at different stages of their life. I have 2 brand new Barbour jackets, I have a 5-year-old Barbour jacket, I have a 12-year-old Barbour jacket, and I have a 32-year-old Barbour jacket. I have reviewed all of these jackets individually at length. You can find the in-depth reviews clicking the links below or clicking the link to the playlist, which is somewhere here on there, I'm not sure. But today I want to give you a different perspective, just focusing on how well a Barbour jacket ages. So that maybe when you look at the price of a Barbour jacket, you think about it more in terms of cost per wear rather than the price that you need to pay when you buy it. I do recommend that you stick until the end of the video because I'm going to be giving you a few do's and don'ts, advice on how to make sure that you get the longest possible life out of your jacket. Why should you be listening to me? Well, my name is Michele, this is my channel, Coat Culture, and as you can tell, I'm really passionate about coats and jackets. I have more coats and jackets than I care to admit. I've been collecting them and wearing them since I was in my late teens, so I know a thing or two about jackets, Barbour and other brands, and I know how to take care of these jackets. So let's proceed with the first jacket. So let's start with 2 brand new Barbour jackets so that you have a baseline of what a new Barbour jacket looks and what to expect. I have here a Beaufort jacket in blue and I have an Ashby jacket in green. I bought both of these jackets at the same time, around 6 months ago, and I have really hardly ever used the Beaufort. I've taken it out a couple of times in the snow, and I did a video about that. I have used a little more the Ashby, but not that much. So for all intents and purposes, these are 2 brand new jackets. I'm giving you both of these jackets because they have a different treatment. The Beaufort is treated with the so-called thorn-proof treatment, and the Ashby is treated with the so-called silk oil treatment. And because some of the older jackets are thorn-proof and some are silk oil, I thought it would be nice to have a baseline for both. I have done a very long comparison between the Beaufort and the Ashby jacket already, and you can find that by clicking on the link on the screen or on the link below. So I'm not going to be talking a lot about the features of this jacket. Suffice to say that the Beaufort is a model that has been around since 1983. It's one of Barbour's most iconic jackets. And the Ashby is a newer model that was launched in 2011 as a modernization of another iconic model called the Bidale. At first glance, this jacket looked very similar, but there is a key difference, as I said, the type of treatments of the jacket. The Ashby has the silk-oil treatment, whereas the Beaufort has the thorn-proof treatment. The thorn-proof treatment gives more of a rough feeling to the jacket. You will notice that the jacket is much stiffer, and the name thorn-proof is there to indicate that this jacket is supposed to be a lot more resistant to wear and tear. The silk-oil treatment, on the other hand, gives this jacket a much softer feel right off the bat. This jacket seems older than the Beaufort treated in thorn-proof, even if it has the same age. And it also has a matte finish, which is very different from the shiny finish of the thorn-proof. Both will develop character over time, but with proper reproofing, I'm going to show you that they will retain their look for decades. I want to draw your attention to the fact that none of these jackets have creases or patina, and I'll talk more about patina in a minute, and neither of them have cracks. They also have that distinct wax cotton smell that comes with a newly waxed jacket or with a new jacket, and of course you can't tell, but the smell is also very different. The Beaufort has a stronger wax smell, whereas the Ashby, much softer smell. So you have a baseline of what a new Barbour jacket should look like. Now let's take a look at a 5-year-old Barbour jacket and let's see how it compares to a brand new one. Now, this is a 5-year-old Barbour Beacon jacket. This is the iconic jacket that 007 was wearing in the 2012 movie Skyfall. This jacket was so popular when it came out that Barbour had to limit the purchase of this jacket to 1 per customer to avoid speculation. I have done a very long review, in-depth review of this jacket, which you can find clicking here on the screen or below. And I'm not going to review the features of this jacket. What I want to draw your attention onto is the fact that this jacket looks identical to the brand new Ashby that I've just shown you before. 5 year is around the mark where you can expect to see some wear and tear. However, I challenge you to find a difference between this jacket and the Ashby. You can see them here side by side. They have the same treatment, the silk oil treatment, so they have that matte look. However, you will see that the fabric is in perfect conditions. There are no tears, there are no signs of drying out. The liner has no holes whatsoever. And I guarantee you that I've used this jacket quite a lot, because this is actually one of the most versatile Barbour jackets ever made that I've worn a lot, both as a coat and as a sport coat. The key here is maintenance. As long as you take care of a Barbour jacket, and as long as you rewax it every couple of years, like I've done with this coat specifically, you will see that it can age very well without any sign of major wear. Now let's look at a jacket which is 12 years old instead. Now, this is a 12-year-old Barbour International jacket. I have reviewed this jacket already, and you can find the review clicking on the screen now or in the description below. So I won't go through the details of the jacket again. But what I want to draw your attention to is the fact that this jacket looks brand new. If I put it next to my Barbour Beaufort, you will see that the wax cotton looks very similar. Of course, there are more creases, and the jacket looks a little more used. I mean, again, it's 12 years old. But in terms of cracks and tears of the cotton, you will see that there is none. There is no tear inside the liner of the jacket, even if the liner is starting to show a little more wear and tear compared to the brand new Barbour. You will see that there is some peeling, which is surprising since this is supposed to be 100% cotton. But other than that, there is really nothing that can give away the fact that it's a 12-year-old jacket. And in fact, I would challenge you to meet me in the street and tell me that this looks like a 12-year-old jacket. The key here, again, is the proper maintenance and the proper storage. I have rewaxed this jacket every few years. Last time I rewaxed it was a few months ago, and I haven't used it much since, and that's why it looks so shiny and new, like the brand new Beaufort jacket. And in terms of storage, I stored it clean on a hanger, not folded under a million of other garments in a wardrobe. But once again, this is a 12-year-old jacket that looks almost as new as the brand new one. And now here is my 32-year-old Beaufort jacket. This is a jacket that I own since 1992, and I got it when I was a college student. And for around 6 years, this was literally my only jacket from around September all the way to April, for 6 years in a row. I have done a very extensive review telling the history of this jacket, of why I got it and why I didn't take care of it, in a separate video that you can find, again, clicking here or in the description below. I'm going to cut a long story short. What happened was that during the first 5 to 6 years, I never had this jacket rewaxed. And what happened was that the wax went away and the cotton dried out. It developed some cracks and tears under the sleeve. And that's the reason why you can see two very large patches under this jacket. I started rewaxing the jacket in 1998, so after the first 6 years, and I rewaxed it pretty regularly, but I never bothered fixing the little holes under the sleeves until last year. So the damage that you see on this jacket is actually a damage that occurred during the first 5 years of ownership of this jacket. After that, after I started taking care of the jacket, there was no more damage done to the jacket. You can see that, of course, it shows some wear and tear. There is a minor tear in the liner as well. And there are two minor tears over the hand-warming jacket that I decided not to repair, because repairing it would have required having two large patches on the front, which I think would have completely changed the look of this jacket. So again, this is a 32-year-old jacket. You can see that it looks pretty good for being a 32-year-old jacket, especially if you compare it to the new one. There are, of course, signs of wear and tear, but I, again, would challenge anybody to tell me that this looks like a 32-year-old jacket. The point, again, that I'm trying to make is that if you do take care of the jacket, this jacket will reward you with a lifetime of ownership. I am pretty sure that if I had taken better care of this jacket the first 5 years, those holes would not be there. Because as you can see from the older jackets that I have, the 12-year-old jacket has no holes whatsoever because I had learned my lesson on how to take care of a Barbour. The 5-year-old jacket has no hole whatsoever. And by the 5th year, this jacket already had holes simply because I didn't know what I was doing. I hope that I've managed to show you how this Barbour jacket, and any wax cotton jacket really, can last a lifetime with the right care. I want to go through a few do's and don'ts with you so that you can truly extract the maximum possible life of these jackets and reduce their cost per wear. Because yes, these jackets are expensive. However, if you are able to extend their life to 10, 15 years, then your cost per wear becomes very low. My 32-year-old Beaufort jacket, I think the cost per wear is something like 15 cents, which is ridiculous. So in terms of do's and don'ts, the first thing to do is to inspect the Barbour jackets regularly. This is because depending on the lifestyle that you live, there are going to be certain areas of the jacket that are more subject to frictions than others. For example, maybe you're somebody that wear a backpack to go to work or to school every day. In that case, I can guarantee you that the back area of the jacket is going to lose the waxing treatment way faster than any other area because the backpack is going to be scratching the back of your jacket. And if you rely simply on looking at your sleeves or at the front of the jacket in the mirror to determine whether or not the jacket needs to be rewaxed, you will miss important area. And once the jacket is completely dry, it is very easy for it to tear and to have little holes. So you don't want that. The second thing to do is to reapply the waxing treatment regularly. Now I'm saying regularly because I cannot really tell you whether once a year, twice a year, once every 3 years is the right thing for you or not. It truly depends on how often you're using these jackets and the type of life that you're living with these jackets. I, for instance, rewax my jackets at different points depending on which they are. My Skyfall 007 jacket, I've rewaxed it twice in 5 years, so not that often. Whereas my Barbour International, I've been rewaxing it way more often because there was a period in my life in which the Barbour International was my favorite jacket ever and I was using it all the time. I cannot stress enough how important this rewaxing process is because I guarantee you that if I had rewaxed my 32-year-old Beaufort jacket when it needed to be rewaxed, it would have not formed any hole. So rewaxing it is one of the most important things. The other important thing is to store the jackets properly. I like to store my jackets hanging from hangers. I know that there are people that store them folded. I don't like that because it develops crease in the cotton that again can lead to cracking of the cotton if it's not oiled enough. And the final thing that you should be doing is to spot clean the jacket when needed. The jackets will require once in a while to be cleaned. However, you cannot dry clean it, and that's one of the don'ts that we'll review in a second. But you can definitely spot clean it with a sponge and some water. And once you do that, again, make sure that you are careful at examining whether that spot that you have just cleaned now needs some rewaxing. Now we've seen what you should be doing to extend the life of your Barbour jacket, and let's look at what you absolutely should not be doing. First of all, I want to talk about patina. I talk about this in every single video that I do about wax cotton jackets, because if you listen to what the majority of YouTubers are telling you out there is that you want the patina on the Barbour jackets because they look beautiful and they look aged and they look personalized, and this is all true. However, when the Barbour jacket develops a patina, it means that it needs to be rewaxed, which means that you do not want patina. The moment you have patina, that means that that jacket is severely under wax. You need to rewax it because you have lost the waterproofness of the jacket, which is the minor of the problem, but you also have a cotton which is now very dry and it can tear or form holes very easily. There is a reason why none of these jackets, not the new one, not the 5-year-old, not the 12-year-old, not the 32-year-old, have patina. You know which jacket had a lot of patina back in the day? The 32-year-old jacket, when I wasn't waxing it and when it developed the holes underneath, that was a jacket with a lot of patina. The moment you see patina forming on the jacket, make sure you reach out for that wax and you apply it to the jacket. Second thing is to never, ever, ever machine wash these jackets. I have met people that have done so because they were thinking, well, it's cotton, I machine wash my jeans, why should I not machine wash a wax cotton jacket? First of all, you strip it entirely of all the waxing treatment of the jacket, which is not a big problem per se if you intend to reapply it immediately after. But also, you are definitely aging the cotton much faster than you want to. But spot wash it really is the way to go. Third thing is to avoid direct heat. If you are outside and it's raining and you come in and the jacket is all wet, do not put it next to a radiator or to a source of heat. Because what this will do, it will melt the waxing treatment from the jacket in the points that are exposed to the heat, so that now you have more wax in certain areas and less wax in the others. And finally, and this is related to one of my suggestions before, is make sure that you do not neglect high stress areas. Always check the elbows, always check the shoulders of the jacket, because that's where most of the wear and tear will occur, and that's where most of the holes will develop over time. I guarantee you that if you follow these simple rules, your Barbour jacket will look as good after 10, 15, and even 30 years as it looked the day you bought it. Let me know in the comments which is your oldest Barbour jacket and how you take care of them. And if you like this video and found it useful, please subscribe to the channel. I have many more reviews of coats and jackets coming your way. See you soon.